Friends, how are you all? I hope you all will be fine and in good health. Today we are going to have introduction of mathematics unit in which we are going to study about prime factors, even numbers, odd numbers, squares, cubes and index notations. So let's start the lecture with factors. What are factors? Factors are the numbers that are exactly divisible by numbers. Such numbers are called factors. For example, if a number is like 18, it can be written as 1 multiplied by 18. And there is another number. 18 can also be written in the form of 9 multiplied by 2. 18 can also be written in the form of 6 multiplied by 3. Since 18 can be written in all the formats, so all these numbers are called its factors. For example, factors of 18 will be 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 and 18 because 1 into 18 is 18, 2 into 9 is 18 and 3 into 6 is 18. So a factor is basically the number which divides a number completely or exactly. After all, the factors which remains factors because they completely divide them. If a number is not completely divided, that cannot be called a factor. Moving on to types of numbers, which are odd numbers and even numbers. The numbers which are not divisible by 2 are called odd numbers, not divisible by 2. And the number which are divisible by 2 are called even numbers. Examples of odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and so on. And examples of even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and so on. So in this way we can differentiate between even numbers and odd numbers. A number can be recalled as even number if the last, that is called the unit part, which is divisible by 2. For example, it is 18, unit part is 8 which is divisible by 2. It is called even number. A number, for example, is 13. The unit part is odd, so it is not divisible by 2. After all, we're going to have a detailed discussion of what are prime numbers. The numbers which are exactly divisible by two numbers. Which two numbers? Number 1 and exactly itself. A number is only divisible by two numbers. Number 1 and exactly itself number. For example, number 17, it is divisible by only 1 and 17. So 17 is a prime number. So the examples of prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7. 9 cannot be the prime number because 9 is multiple of 3 into 3. Since it is a multiple of 3 into 3, so 9 cannot be the prime numbers. 11 is the prime number and so on. After this, we are going to have discussion on composite numbers. What are composite numbers? When numbers are divisible by more than two factors, such numbers are called composite numbers. Remember, prime numbers are those numbers which are divisible by only two factors. Composite numbers are those which are divisible by more than two factors. For examples, 378. We can write 378. 378 is a number which is, by appearance, it is an even number, but it is divisible by 2. So since it is divisible by 2, so it is a composite number, because prime numbers are the numbers which are only divisible by 1 and themselves. Remember one thing, there are two numbers which can neither be composite or prime, which are 0 and 1. They are neither prime numbers and neither or nor composite numbers. After this, we are going to have discussion on what are index notations. What are index notations? When a number is multiplied many times, for example, 3 is multiplied 4 times, it can be written 3 raised to power 4. That 4 is called index of base 3. This is because when bases are same, powers add up. Base is written 4 times and there is 4 times power, so powers add up to form power 4, which is called index. This form is called index notation. When 5 is multiplied 5 times, it can be written as 5 raised to power 5, where index is 5 and base is also 5. After this, we are going to have discussion on what are square. When a number is multiplied by its own number, the same number, such numbers are called square. For example, when 2 is multiplied by 2, it can be written as 2 raised to power 2, which is equal to, it is called square. Similarly, when a number is multiplied 3 times, it can be written as 2 raised to power 3, which is equal to 8. It is called cube. So, for today's lecture, we have learned what are factors, the numbers which are exactly divisible by other numbers, the prime numbers, the even numbers, the odd numbers, square, cubes, and after all, index notations. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you.